to have the privilege of having the job of making the roads safe. That's rewarding for me. Getting through a storm and seeing the final product of what you've done. It's something I take pride in, and because of it being a challenge, it's something I enjoy doing.
Good evening, Geauga County voters, and happy President's Day. My name is Matt Rambo, and I'm running to be your next probate and juvenile court judge. Before I start, I'd like to thank Chair Nancy MacArthur and the Geauga County Republican Party for having this forum. It's a good opportunity to meet the candidates you might not otherwise get. A little background about myself. I'm an attorney. I currently have a private practice with a firm in Mayfield Village. My wife and I met in law school at Ohio State, and we live in Russell with 2 little boys. I'm running because Geauga County deserves better in a probate and juvenile judge. First, the court needs to work collaboratively with county government and other elected officials to solve the challenges the county faces. I'm reminded that bullying of any kind is unacceptable either in the classroom or the courtroom. Second, the court should not be in the advertising business. The court spends currently thousands of public dollars on promotional items, wristbands, rubber gavels, newsletters, placemats at local diners, advertisements in church bulletins, a separate website from the current county website, and the list goes on. My picture will not be plastered all over the county using your tax dollars. Third, the court should be transparent in its dealings with the public and with others in county government. Under my leadership, instead of hiding behind orders to pay and journal entries, the court will actively participate in the budgeting process with the commissioners to ensure that your public money is being spent wisely. I would also like to see public comment and open meetings return to the Park District. After all, they are your parks paid for with your money. Finally, the current administrative costs of the court are unacceptably high. The court's expenditures are currently, or at least in 2018, the most current record, $1 million higher than they were in 2011. I will cut the unnecessary employee expenses and travel and ensure that every employee is well qualified for the position for which they were hired. Geauga County, we must do better, we can do better, I will do better. Please make your voices heard on March 17th. After all, decisions are made by those who show up. So please vote for me, Matt Rambo, probate judge on March 17th. Thank you.
We can start off with 2 tough questions, but part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and part 2, huh? All right. Your November 15th, 2019 campaign letter states you have been a registered Republican most of your voting life, and you have joined the joined the Democrats to vote for a friend in 2017. I've got bad eyes, sorry. Franklin County Board of Elections showed your affiliation as Democrat in 2010, and you voted Democrat. Prior to that, you were unaffiliated but voted. Please explain.
Okay. So I know that there's a lot of what I'll just call fake news about my voting record. It's true the Secretary of State's website only goes back to 2010. I'm a lifelong Republican. I was born in a Republican household. I did vote Democrat in 17, and in 16 I voted Republican, and in 14 I voted Republican, and in 12 I voted Republican. I was vice president of the Federalist Society in law school. I used to run home as a kid to watch Rush Limbaugh on TV. Who remembers the TV show? And on top of that, judge is a nonpartisan position. I know it's a partisan primary, but I'm not a Democratic judge. I'm not a judge for Republicans. I'm a judge for the people. So when you come before me, you're coming before me so I can uphold the Constitution and apply the laws of the state evenly, not in a partisan way.
Okay.
Part 2.
In case you didn't get enough of that one, you stated in the GOP voter guide that you fully support the Republican platform. Yet you ran for Geauga Common Pleas as a Democrat in 2018. Why shouldn't you support the Republican platform when just last year you supported the Democratic platform?
Well, again, there's no platform for judges. I don't take a pledge or an oath to uphold the platform. I take a pledge or an oath to uphold the Constitution of this state and of the United States. There was no oath that I ever gave. I do support the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner, which is really about as far as I can go in talking about specific issues. Judges are bound by ethical rules when it comes to issues that may appear before the court. So I will say generally I support the Republican platform as printed on the GOP website.
What is your view on the limits of judicial power in this office? And what have you done or what do you do to ensure you stay true to your beliefs?
So, what's funny is the judge has a specific duty, and the probate court has a specific statute that outlines the probate court's job. That's your job. Go to court, go to work every day, do what's prescribed by the statutes and the Constitution. Same with juvenile court. The judge has no business outside of that role. The judge has no business other than what is specifically prescribed for in the statute.
Can you please explain your qualifications? Can you please explain your qualifications would be for a park commissioner appointee or appointer? Sorry.
So the funny thing about the probate judge and park commissioners, which there's been a lot of talk about, at least in this county, there's just one line. Probate judge shall appoint park commissioners. Okay, so that's what I would do. I would have an open application process, appoint who I feel are well-qualified, conservation-minded, and also business-minded people. The Parks District is obviously a huge business in the county. And then let them do their jobs. It's not my job as the probate judge to micromanage the court. My job is to be the probate judge, not the parks manager. So I think I would kind of set it and forget it, I think is the best way to put it.
Juvenile abuse and neglect cases are complicated by serious issues. How will you ensure that you are making decisions in the best interest of the child?
I currently serve as a guardian ad litem. I've been a guardian ad litem since 2016. I do most of my work in Ashtabula County, which I don't know how many of you are familiar with the juvenile system in Ashtabula County, but it's rough. So I'm acutely aware, both as a father and a guardian ad litem, of what a child needs and what is in the best interest of the child. I know that there's always going to be two sides to every story when a family comes before you. Either mom or dad is going to have a story. You need to find out from your CASAs or from your guardians what is in the best interest of the child, and always rule in the best interest of the kids. And they may not like it. Sometimes the kids are teenagers or young, 10, 11, 12. They have very strong opinions about what they want. And even as a guardian, I have to apply to the court and say, this teenager needs an attorney because they disagree with what I want the court to do. So it's always in their best interest to the best of your ability.
Last. Can you please explain the bind-over process for juvenile offenders and you support that process?
So the bind-over process, and it's changed a little bit in the last couple of years, that there's now more mandatory bind-over for certain offenses and serious offenses. And I tend to believe that when juveniles come before the court and are charged with homicide or severe assault or some sexual offenses, that belongs, for the most part, in a more serious, well, I don't want to say serious, but the common police court, which is dealing with felonies every day. Juvenile offenders aren't really convicted or found guilty of crimes. They're found true. They're not of offenses. So it's a little bit different. It's kind of a weird situation, but those more serious crimes definitely, in my opinion, belong in common police court. That's it. Oh, Mr. McNeil has one. It's not a pink card, Jim. I don't think it counts. The last one was a win.
Lots of questions, but unfortunately we have still a lot of candidates. I know, so I will take a look at it.
And honestly, if you have more questions than you can get to tonight, I have a Facebook page, I have a website. Send me a question. I'll do my best to answer.
We have to move, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have too many other.
Thank you.
Censorship? No, it's not censorship.